very honored to be here. Thank you for the invite. I'm here representing Frances Castaneda Dyess. She's the president of the East End Chamber of Commerce in Houston, Texas.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you being here.
Thank you. And I'm the founder of STC Consulting, a financial management and business consulting firm. So the topic of finance is priority right now with all our small businesses.
Well, we always want to highlight our small businesses. So before we jump into the work that the Chamber is doing, do you want to share just a little bit more about your company? How long have you been in business? Where are you located? Where can folks find more information?
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. My website is www.soledadtanner.com, and STC Consulting is a firm that helps small and medium-sized businesses improve the profit and productivity through financial literacy, through business financial literacy. So it's not only important to start your business, but once you start and you're a subject matter expert, you have to keep it up all the time, checking your money, your finance. So I help support small businesses with financial management and financial statement analysis, budgets and process, preparation. If you want to start a new business, make sure your numbers are okay, your financial modeling, financial speaking on topics. So what we want is to bring the topic of finance, and everybody talks about money, so we don't leave it for another day. And it proved to be so important, especially now when we have an unexpected event like COVID-19.
Right.
And now our businesses have to increase, have to thrive and survive this season. And it makes a great difference if you are really familiar with your numbers and your results and with your cash flow and with those terms. The opposite as if you really don't like to talk about the topic. So we are here to bring this topic forward so more and more people get used to and comfortable talking about this.
Wonderful. Well, thank you. So you all heard that. It's soledadtanner.com to learn more about STC, her company. Great. Well, we heard from Leroy at the USHCC about what's happening nationally, some of the federal financial resources for our small businesses. Can you tell me a little bit about what you're hearing on the ground from entrepreneurs? What are some of their biggest challenges? I think for everybody, the shutdown kind of affected us in a wave. You know, at the beginning, we were a little bit in denial. Then we accepted it, and we were very scared and nervous about the uncertainty. And then we got laser focused on, you know, getting creative, getting innovative, and keeping our companies moving forward. What has been your experiences with your local entrepreneurs?
Correct. We all went through this wave, this cycle of shock first, and then some people froze for a little bit, and then we started, you know, the entrepreneurship spirit kick in, and people start creating different products and different services. So obviously the main concern is lack of sales because our businesses have been closed. And obviously our side by side is cash flow management. Are we going to have enough money to pay for our payables and wait until our volume goes back to a new normal, whatever that is and whenever that is? So the main concern is that are we going to last? Are we going to survive? Are we going to create new products? And how are we going to do it, right? That's the question. How will we address these crisis, right? And the government obviously came with the EIDL loan and then with the PPP loan. And when that came to the entrepreneurship group, what happens is people start applying, right? And we found many, many challenges in this PPP application process. Obviously, at the beginning, there were many changes. So websites were going down and up and new changes.
Right.
When finally the process was stable, then it was like the gate, you know, the gates open and people start applying. But now we start facing other challenges. So many of the small businesses were not prepared they didn't have an accounting system, didn't have documentation to prove, didn't have the knowledge of, you know, what a profit and loss statement was. And that's when the Chamber of Commerce partnered with people like in the finance work, like STC Consulting, to be at the front, to be helping one by one the business owner. Remember that we still have some language challenges because they're in English. So for many communities, the Hispanic, you know, Vietnamese community also is big in Houston. And so there's technology challenges. Obviously, you have to do the application online. And if not everyone is still computer savvy, right? So we have to make sure we bring all our business owners with us and help them if the challenge is the computer, right? But in addition to that, we had documentation that was missing. For example, many people didn't have contracts for the rent. We still have problems with people paying in cash. So if you're paying in cash, what kind of support do you have to prove that you have paid? So we have gone into a change management culture to be more business best practices in place to be able to apply, get it, and manage it efficiently. So once we get the money, that's the second challenge, right? What do we do with this money? How do we optimize this amazing gift so it lasts as much as we can? And then how do we prepare for the forgiveness process? So there are multiple layers to this.
Absolutely. I mean, and just to recap a little bit of what you said, because it is so true, and also depending on the way that these small businesses had structured their companies and how formal they had taken their company, it really affected when you started applying for these loans, because again, there is paperwork that you have to submit. There's so much information that you have to provide, and not every small company has that. And so I think it's great that the local chamber was able to partner with companies like yours to make sure that our entrepreneurs are able to kind of get their ducks in a row and get access to this funding. But I love how you said that it's kind of like a three-phase process. The first challenge is getting the money, so going through the application, turning in all your paperwork. Then the second part is managing and optimizing it. Now I have access to the money. How do I optimize this to keep my business open, keep my staff employed? And then we don't know how long this is going to last. So making sure that you use it wisely. And then the third part is making sure that you are using the money in the right way to be able to get loan forgiveness. So it's so much, and it can be so overwhelming. And so we're just so grateful to all the local chambers who are taking the time to really help walk our entrepreneurs through, you know, a new way of doing things.
And as you were talking, I saw a question popping up in the how do we optimize the money? So once we receive it, so I recommend people to say, okay, I got 20,000, 50,000, doesn't matter what amount. It can be 20 million, right? And you write down what you owed, and you do a little process. So it cannot be handled at random. It has to be a thought process to say, okay, what is the most important? We're going to pay rent. We're going to pay employees. Maybe I have some debt that I have to pay. And then you want to know your balances, your interest rates. Maybe you want to have a marketing campaign to sell your products. Maybe you want to establish partnerships. It's really important not only where you're going to assign the money, but also to think of the return on the investment of that money. Is that where I can get the most out of my money? And that's different for every business. So,
right. Absolutely. Well, thank you so much. Before we say goodbye, are there any words that you would like to share with our entrepreneurs? We are going to save this Instagram Live on our page, so folks who didn't get a chance to tune in live can watch it. So any message that you would like to share?
Yes, I want to say that the East End Chamber of Commerce has been partnering with businesses around the area. For example, I want to highlight Gulf Coast Distillery. They were a distillery that produced vodka and bourbon, great products, but now they have switched to produce hand sanitizers.
Wow.
So to help the community. The same with Texas Mattress Makers. They switched from having mattresses to face masks. They were so needed. So our community is switching and adapting and being present. And the Chamber of Commerce also is having 2 events every week. On Tuesday, business seminars related to COVID, all of them marketing during COVID. I was one of the guest speakers this week, to talk about finance during COVID, so legal aspects during COVID. So we're educating our community. And on Friday, we have a Feel Good Friday, which are positive stories how companies are helping each other. This is all about all of us helping each other with ideas and with connections and with a sense of community to move forward.
I love that. And so how can folks tune in to participate in either of those events?
They need to follow the East End Chamber of Commerce social media, and then they will receive the announcement every Tuesday for business education, and every Friday for Feel Good Friday, where we can see what others are doing, connect, support, and even pick up the phone and call and say, hey, either I can help or I need help. So we need to ask for help and give help as much as we can. It's a cycle of survival and thriving that we should all move forward with that.
Absolutely. And I love how you split it up. First, you get the information and resources, and then there's so much to be said about sharing your stories, because I think that's where you start really building relationships and long-term partnerships. And so that's wonderful. We'll also share information about that on our social media to get the word out, because I think it's really helpful.
The website of the Chamber is East End Chamber of Commerce, eecoc.org, and also they can see it in their Facebook.
Wonderful. Thank you. And if folks on our team are on, if you can put that in the comments, that'd be great, so we can share that. Perfect. Well, thank you so much. We really appreciate your time, Soledad, and all you're doing to help our community during this time.
Thank you. I hope to see you soon, and we're here to support. If you need anything else, please reach out to the Chamber or to me. We are all going to come out better in the other side of this.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Soledad.
Thank you. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Bye.